Today what we're gonna do is talk about 3 questions that you can ask a motivated seller in order to get them to drop the price without you ever having to negotiate with them. So the 3 questions that you wanna ask a motivated seller in order to get them to drop the price will help you in getting better deals in your real estate investing, whether you're wholesaling, whether you're buying and holding, whatever the case may be. These 3 questions will ultimately help you in getting a discounted price from the original price that the motivated seller is asking for in the first place. Now, the problem that people have, the problem that investors have in general is the way they ask questions. What you want to do is focus on how you're asking the question in order to get a targeted answer. This is a much better solution for you rather than going about what everybody else is doing. So most investors would say, how much are you asking for a property? The problem with having that type of question asked to a motivated seller is quite simply you're leaving a door open for the motivated seller to be able to tell you anything that they want for the property. You're not asking them what they need, you're asking them what they want. So naturally, what are they gonna do? They're gonna tell you what they want for the property. So for example, if a motivated seller truly wanted, let's just say $100,000 for a property, and you ask them what's the asking price or what do they want for the property, naturally they're gonna tell you more money, hoping to get more. And even if they weren't able to get more, ultimately, they're going to use that as a bargaining tool, as a negotiating strategy to lower the price to be able to get to the price that they really want. The way to ask the motivated seller for their asking price without actually saying what your asking price is simply how much do you need for this property. So what are you doing by rephrasing the question? You're looking to get a targeted answer from the seller. You're not leaving the door wide open for them to ask for whatever they want. You're simply saying, what do you need for this property? Now, that's strategy number 1. How much do you need for this property? Strategy number 2 is to simply ask them a question that's going to get them off of that original number that they told you. Because remember, that number is in their mind now. So for example, if I'm a motivated seller and I say, I want $100,000 for my property, that number is now in my head. When you ask me how much do I need, I'm going to tell you $100,000. So how do I get the motivated seller off of that number? Really simple. You say, look, I'm an investor. I buy houses really quickly. If I were to pay you cash and I close really quickly, what's the least amount that you'll take for a cash offer? Another way to ask that question is, look, Mr. Seller, if I had a bag of cash on me and I came to you and I said, Mr. Seller, here's a bag of cash. How much needs to be in that bag in order for us to be able to close this deal out? That's just a way of rephrasing the same question, but getting the motivated seller to come off of that original number that they were at in order to get them to drop the price in their mind. Most sellers, if you say that you're paying cash and closing quickly and they don't have to wait around for the money, most of them will come off of their asking price. So let's just use $100,000 as an example again. If a seller is asking for $100,000 for a property and you say, what's the least amount that you'll take for a cash offer? 9 sellers out of 10 will think about coming down on that price. Maybe they'll come down to $95,000. Maybe they'll come down to $90,000. But the point is to get them off of that original number. So again, it's how you ask the question and how you phrase the question, which will make the big difference in getting the seller to negotiate with themselves. Focus on the need, not the want. Again, the first question, you're focusing on how much do you need to walk away with. The second question, what's the least amount that you need? What's the least amount that you'll take for this house? And that leads us into the third question, which is quite simply put, the most effective question, in my opinion. It's the simplest question. And that third question is that the best you can do? Now, just like the other questions, this one is especially important when it comes to finding out if they're willing to lower their price even more. And it's even more important to ask this question in a way that's intriguing to the motivated seller. It's going to spark their brain to think about the question. Think about it like this. If I asked you, is that the best you can do? How intrigued would you be to lower your price if you were a motivated seller? Is that the best you can do? Rather than saying, is that really the best you can do? Think about how I asked that question. Is that really the best you can do? It's how you ask the question which will spark the motivated seller to lower their price. So think about these three questions. You got, how much do you need for the property? You have, what's the least you'll take? What's the least you need if I were to make you a cash offer on this house? Is that the best you can do? And you can see how this is psychologically negotiating with the seller. The seller is negotiating with themselves, then ultimately allowing you to get a better deal than what you originally set out to get, just by asking three simple questions in the way you ask the question. Now, there's another way to get an even lower price than what the seller thinks is their rock bottom price. And I'm going to share that strategy with you in another video. Be sure to click the notification bell and subscribe to this channel in order to be notified of when that video is released, which will be our next video. And also leave a comment below. Let me guys know what you thought about those three questions. What are you guys asking the motivated sellers? So let me know what you guys thought about today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Jamel Gibbs, and I'll see you next time, folks. Take care.